Okay, the time being 4 p.m., I'd like to call this meeting to order. First item on the agenda is the traditional territory acknowledgement, followed by a moment of silence. Council of the Township of Red Rock hereby acknowledges that we are on the traditional territory of the Robinson Superior Treaty and that the land we gather on is home to the Red Rock Indian Band, the Anishinaabe, and Métis people. Administration advises that there are no additions to the agenda. Do any members of council wish to make amendments to the agenda? Okay, seeing none, can I have a mover and seconder for motion to approve the agenda as presented? Councillor Muir, Councillor Gladden, all in favor? All hands rising, motion's carried. Are there any declarations of interest to disclose? Okay, seeing none. Okay, we're going to go right to bylaws as there's no correspondence or reports from committees. Okay, first item, 9.1 is a bylaw to adopt the estimates of all sums required for the 2023, otherwise known as the budget bylaw. Does council have any questions for administration? Councillor Muir.
I just want to thank Mark and the staff for putting this together. I appreciate the hard work. You know, good plan going forward, but this is the first step. Thanks, Mark.
Okay, seeing no other questions. Is there a mover and seconder for motion to approve the bylaw? Councillor Muir, Councillor Gladden. All in favor? All hands rising, motion's carried. Okay, next item 9.2 is a bylaw to establish the tax ratios in the Township of Red Rock. Does council have any questions of administration? Everyone's read the document. No questions. Okay, is there a mover and seconder for motion to approve the bylaw? Councillor Muir, Councillor Smith. All in favor? All hands rising, motion's carried. Okay, item 9.3 is a bylaw to establish limits for property classes. Does council have any questions for administration? We all have the documents, right? Okay, is there a mover and seconder for motion to approve the bylaw? 1 second. One second, sorry. Okay. Mover and seconder, Councillor Smith, Councillor Gladden. All in favor? All hands rising, motion's carried. Okay, item 9.4 is a bylaw to adopt optional tools in the Township of Red Rock. Does council have any questions or administration? Mark, maybe do you want to give a little explanation what that means?
Yes, certainly. So if you look at 9.3 and 9.4 kind of as a combination, if you look at the classes there, multi-res, commercial and industrial, there's a process that's called capping. So what happens in these particular properties and where these bylaws would come into effect, kind of on a couple of examples, probably the best example I could give you is if there was a mill in our town or there was a mill and that mill was either decommissioned and or knocked down within that year, for example, the taxes are capped at the previous year based on a percentage so that you cannot So you don't budget for what you're expecting to bring in, and all of a sudden you, for example, may go, and it happened quite a bit in the regional communities in the last little bit with the downsizing of the pulp and paper industry, where reassessments were done on properties. So what you don't end up with is the case where you have, for example, a property assessed at $50 million, and all of a sudden within that same calendar year, it's now assessed at 10 million. So there's a capping process there that allows you to not be able to recover at least the portion that was there for that year. And on the flip side, the other side is, this is, again, we got to remember the Municipal Act covers all of us in all of Ontario. So there's single tier, upper tier, lower tier communities. We're a single tier operations community in Northwestern Ontario. But the same thing could happen. For example, Costco could want to come in and build a structure on a vacant piece of property. All of a sudden it's assessed at $1, or that's not a great example, but 10,000 on a vacant piece, for example. All of a sudden it's built in that year and it's now worth 10 million. Well, you're capped again on the previous years at that 10%. So moving forward, you couldn't say, I mean, you would collect their taxes within that year and then move forward. So that's all that process is, and it covers, capping covers those three categories: multi-res, commercial, and industrial. So this allows us the opportunity to be able to collect or recover the amounts that we can, and that's simply probably the best way I think I can explain that.
Okay, great, thanks. Yeah, just because if somebody's not going to read the paperwork and just listen, to this session, they're just going to say, well, what does that mean? So thanks for the explanation. Okay, is there a mover and seconder for a motion to approve the bylaw? Councillor Muir, Councillor Gladden, all in favor? All hands rising, motion's carried. Okay, next item 9.5 is, is a bylaw to set and levy the 2023 tax rates. Does council have any questions of administration? Okay, seeing none, is there, Councillor Gladden. Or B.
What date? I just noticed it now. Should it be 23?
Yes.
Okay.
We can pass that as amended.
Yeah,
and-
yeah, sorry, I
Yeah,
just
no,
noticed
good
it now.
catch for sure. That's definitely
Do you want me to add into the bylaw as amended on 4B? At 4B with the date of
Yep.
October 19th, 2023? Okay. Okay. So is there a mover and seconder for a motion to approve the bylaw and amended at 4B with the wording, the balance of levy amount on October 19th, 2023? Councillor Muir. Councillor Smith. All in favor? All hands rising, motion's carried. I think I got a spelling mistake on there, so. Okay, next item is the bylaw to confirm proceedings of council. Can I have a mover and seconder for motion to pass the bylaw? Councillor Mayor, Councillor Gladden. All in favor? All hands rising, motion's carried. Okay, the time being 4:10 and there's no further business to attend to, I declare the meeting adjourned. Thank you.